21 Jump Street weeks later?
Hello, everyone!
Hi!
Welcome to another amazing episode of Unhinged Boys Movie Reviews!
Spoilers!
And today, we are talking about...
And spoiling.
Yeah. 28 weeks later?
Yes.
Yes.
A movie that was also just as hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, a movie I never seen, weirdly enough.
And honestly,
I seen the first one more.
it's kind of expensive if you can find it.
Yeah.
Well, I got my hands on it, and before we start, I already know my shirt looks like shit. I've been working, and I didn't have time to change.
Look like shit.
So I already know it has stains on
It
it.
doesn't even look like it really even has.
No, I have stains.
Well, right there, yeah.
Anyway.
Camera's not even like that.
Anyway, 28 weeks later.
Yeah, Drew, what about 21?
21 weeks later?
21 weeks later.
21 Jump Street weeks later?
Alright, so 28 weeks later, we
Are in Britain.
And we're gonna talk about the things we like and we're gonna rate it. Now, start off in Britain, which is where the first movie started off in, which is, you know.
I don't think it started off in Britain.
What do you mean? It started off in London. Where the fuck?
Yeah, London.
London, Britain, England. I don't know.
Britain
You said Britain!
Britain and London are two different places, buddy.
Well, I guess where they were at was in...
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
They back to London.
We focus on
London to London.
these survivors, and it's this like dad and wife, or his wife or whatever.
Wife and a bunch of other people just chilling.
In a house.
Because the virus is still spreading.
Yeah, and then they're all eating dinner, and the house is all boarded up, and this kid comes and starts knocking on the door, and the husband's like, don't open it. Seriously, just ignore it. And the wife is like, no, we gotta open it!
For some reason.
Yeah, even though she knows there's infected. So they open it, and they're like, alright, how many infected followed you? Well, it was my mom, my dad,
And then the whole neighborhood.
and the entire neighborhood.
Apparently.
And so the infected show up to their house and bust in. And so they get forced upstairs. There's a big slaughter going on in the house.
Big murders. Big deaths.
The dad and wife are pretty much the only ones to survive at that point. They go upstairs. For some reason, like the dad goes and like opens this door or whatever, and it's to basically get out of the house or whatever. And his wife literally goes back because the kid hid in the closet or whatever.
Yeah,
she goes halfway across the room, and the infected break in, and then he's forced to make a decision: leave his wife or get infected. And he was just like, well, this is a no-win situation because he didn't have a weapon. So
he's like, fuck it.
I think he was in the right, honestly.
Like, I'm gone. I'm leaving.
So he takes off. There's a big epic running scene. You all know it.
We all love it.
Yeah. And
then we go...
He gets in a boat and gets away, and now we're in Britain.
Well, we go, what, eight? What, you go years or months later?
Could have been weeks. I don't know.
Because I don't know what the time span is between then, because they're like, all the infected have died.
I'm going to be honest, I really didn't pay attention.
It didn't look like they died, because because that guy got attacked and his wife died, and that seemed pretty recent, so I don't understand what happened.
Either way,
like 8 weeks, 8 years, 8 months, I don't know. 28 years later.
The husband's kid shows up in this quarantine zone.
I think it just means it's 28 weeks. I think it literally is.
Yeah, probably.
Either
way, things are going back to civilization, and his kids are probably the youngest people in the quarantine zone, and he's basically telling them, like, hey, your mom died. I seen her get bit.
You got bit. Sorry, she died.
There was nothing I could do, and he's really heartbroken over it.
I seen her die.
And they're like, "Can we go back home?" He's like, "No," and I'm not. I don't want to really, to be honest, because that's
no.
Their home is not in the quarantine zone, and
it's outside.
Literally, the next scene is of the kids literally just sneaking in off the quarantine zone.
And then people see them, but they don't do anything. They're just like
Jeremy Renner's Renner's
Hawkeye.
He's in here anyway. He plays a sniper, and he sees them leave the kids, and I guess he lets people know.
He's like, hey, they left. Hawkeye sees them leave, does nothing. They leave, they go to the house, and then they find their mom, who's apparently still alive somehow. I don't know how. I guess she just has some sort of gene that makes her like immune.
Yeah, she has like two different colored eyes or whatever, but she's like half infected. She's basically, from what they said, was a carrier. So she is infected and can infect others, but she still has somewhat of a mind. So
I think that's just the way. I think the virus like evolved and did that on purpose, because it seemed that it was like slowly dying off maybe in that area, and it was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just trick a couple of people. I feel like that's what I feel like. They just evolved.
It was just like, I gotta come back one way or another.
One way or another, somebody to do something.
But, so, the kids are all mad at the dad because they think he's a liar or whatever, and he's like, I didn't really lie. He kind of did, but kind of didn't. But anyway, he goes down, and the army's basically just gonna like kill his wife or whatever, because they do not want the infection. Like, they want to kill off the infection.
Yeah, it's like she still can spread it. She's not infected.
And
she is.
The husband goes and sees his wife or whatever, and he's telling her he's sorry or whatever, and he kisses her, and she's smiling or whatever. Like
she knew, but I don't know how she knew she was infected. Like,
I don't know, but she
just assumed. London, something.
Regardless, he starts turning in the room, and she's like, "Wait, I'm tied to a table. Oh no!"
And then she just dies.
Yeah, horribly. And then, literally, this infected, the husband, the dad, literally just takes down the entire quarantine zone, basically. Everyone starts freaking out. It goes code red.
Anyway, everybody's infected now. Hawkeye's like, screw this.
And he goes to save the kid and some other people or whatever, and he's trying to get them out of the city, and they're napalming the city at that point, and then they try gassing the infected.
Yeah. And basically, short story, all the affected, a good group of them still live.
Yeah, they outran the napalm.
They somehow outran it. I don't know.
Or the fire, or whatever they were using.
The flames.
They outran it.
Outran the fire.
But
fire.
The fire.
Then anyway, they found a car, Like, by the way, there's like the kids. There's this woman, and then Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And then they find a car, but then they're like, Hawkeye, like, shit, it won't start. But then there's soldiers with flamethrowers just killing people randomly and indiscriminately. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. They got flamethrowers.
It's code red.
It's code red. So anyway, the birds don't shut the fuck up. They're in the car, and then Hawkeye's like, screw this, I'm gonna push the car. And then he pushes the car, and then he gets hit with the flamethrower and dies.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's dead now.
And then they pull into this, like, they try outrunning the gas, and they pull into this, like, underground, like, train station or some shit like that. And there's this stupid part where they're, like, using, like, a night vision scope, and she's, like, trying to walk these these two brother and sister down the stairs or whatever in the dark. And there's already, like, bones and, like, bodies down there. I don't know if that was from, like,
all of them,
the fire, or, like, whether they just starved or something.
How long? Like, that has to be like a year at least, right?
They fall down the stairs, and then they don't answer her. And they just basically take off through the train station for no reason at all. And the dad catches up to the lady.
She's still alive and getting napalmed.
And he
murders her.
Basically, yeah. And then he bites the younger brother or whatever.
And then it turns out the younger brother isn't. He's the same thing as the mother.
Yeah. And then they get to their destination, and then they fly away in a helicopter.
Yeah. The end of movie.
End of movie. We didn't say this, but there was a really cool, like, field scene with all the infected and, like, a helicopter. It was pretty cool. They used the helicopter to, like, slice up all the infected. It was really cool. Anyway.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So that was that movie. So what'd you like about it?
I pretty much liked the entire movie. I mean, there was the two kids in it were like they were really, like, stupidly, like, written characters. That was pretty much the only down part for
basically the whole reason why the whole human race is not doomed.
Yeah, basically. Essentially, yeah. If they just wouldn't have went outside the quarantine zone, everything would be working peachy.
Everything would be fine. I think it's as good as the first one.
Yeah.
Except for that one part. Because...
What one part?
The escalator scene.
Yeah.
The night vision.
That was also not a very great part.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would give this movie probably a good 7.
Sure, I'll give it a 7 too.
It had a lot of cool infected scenes, and overall it was pretty good.
It was a good movie.
I would recommend it if you can find it.
Mm-hmm. And if you like that, check out our other 28 Days later review.
We're going to be reviewing
28 years later.
Yes.
When it comes out.
Yes, that's the entire reason we reviewed this one.
Look out for that. Watch all the reviews. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Stop. Yawning.
I wasn't yawning.
You're yawn.
Bye.